Hello, I'm Andrew, and this is my Series 3 of the weekly podcasts 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. These podcasts build confidence and know-how. Consequently, they can help you achieve happiness at work. By the way, that's also the title of my book, available at Amazon and from the book's website, My Happiness at Work. Now for today's episode in Series 3. This is episode 5 in Series 3 of 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. Today's episode is about feeling disconnected at work. Talk to many successful people and they often explain their achievements because of their connections. Here, for example, are what 6 well-known succeeders think about connections. Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, says, "It's not just about having the best technology. It's about having the right people and the right culture." Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, says, "Success is not just about what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do." And famously, Oprah Winfrey says, "Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher." And Elon Musk of Tesla and SpaceX says, "It's very important to have a good network of friends and colleagues to learn from them and to help each other." And finally, Sheryl Sandberg, former COO of Facebook and author of Lean In, has publicly stressed the importance of building supportive networks. And finally, you may not be a fan of Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, but this controversial CEO claims, "The biggest things that I've learnt is that people are the most important thing in a company." The most critical question you need to answer about connectedness and building a network is, why do I want to build a network? Without an answer, you're in danger of a time-consuming and possibly frustrating, even futile waste of time. Those well-known individuals I quoted, Tim Cook of Apple and CEO of Google and Oprah Winfrey, all relied on collaboration to build solid relationships and networks. They sought support and advice and help in their careers. You may have heard that success at work depends on acquiring high levels of exceptional skills. Your ability to relate to others, though, is far more important, since much of your work will be about relationships. The stronger or more varied your connections, the better your chances of finding and benefiting from development opportunities. The more widespread the links, the more you'll come across new ways to build your career. Feeling disconnected at work is a recipe for failure. It ranks up there along with antagonizing your boss or refusing to turn up at team meetings. However, building relationships takes effort and can be uncomfortable. It's why so many people avoid doing it. Yet without interconnectedness, you will have fewer opportunities with people to whom you can interact. Therefore, you have less access to valuable information, such as how to make things happen or what a job is like. You may also need relationships to prompt fresh thinking about ongoing problems. Let's look at some of the pathways. There are several routes to reach interconnectedness. What matters is building meaningful connections, so focus on quality over on quantity. For example, your job satisfaction can stimulate interpersonal connections with co-workers. This can lead to a more positive and fulfilling work experience. Another route is investigating collaboration to support your teamwork. This can help you with problem solving and improved decision-making, and it can mean faster and more effective completion of tasks. Improved mental health is another pathway that can provide emotional support and therefore a sense of belonging through connectedness. These and other ways highlight the role of interconnectedness in workplace success. Let's look at some of the boosters. Boosters help you create relationships and connectedness, regardless of your current work role. Here are some of the most basic boosters. Consider investing in reciprocity, when you give before you get something back. If everything you do is transactional, in which you always try to make gains before helping others, you may close off meaningful, beneficial connections. A second booster is when you like the same things as others. Your common interest provides a natural boost to connectedness. Look for ways to share your likes and even dislikes. Both can stimulate connectedness. A third standard booster is unity, a sense of being on the same side as colleagues at work, and that can significantly enhance connectedness and foster a positive workplace environment. For example, you have shared values and mission, and people at work feel aligned. Rituals build familiarity and trust amongst colleagues, enhancing their sense of unity to creating connectedness. A fourth booster to creating connectedness is when you become a member of a support network. When colleagues readily offer assistance or guidance, it fosters a sense of camaraderie, whether seeking advice on a project or discussing personal challenges. A support network boosts connectedness. A fifth booster is when you interact meaningfully with your peers. Apart from everyday work tasks, these interactions can provide a daily dose of humanity, whether it's a casual chat during breaks or collaborating on a project. These links directly affect satisfaction and productivity. So let's look at action. This is where we come to the crunch. Less theory, but practical action. What can you do to boost your connectedness and your networks? Believe it or not, there are at least 10 basic steps for you to consider. Not all of them have to be done at once. The point is that you need to be aware of them. First of all, meet people in person. Attend events, conferences and social gatherings to connect with others face to face, not using technology. Leveraging social media, using platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook can connect you with professionals in your field, but the impact is relatively small. Thirdly, join professional organizations. Become a member of an industry-specific group of associations and volunteer. Offer your time and skills at community events or charitable organizations. And fifth, attend workshops and webinars. Participate in these and they can relate to your interests. Ask for introductions. Reach out to your existing contacts and ask them to introduce you to others that might help. And be in touch. Regularly follow up with people that you maintain relationships with and share your knowledge. Write articles, give talks, or contribute to online forums to showcase your expertise. And to others. First of all, collaborate on projects, that is, you work with others on projects and initiatives. And finally, build relationships by being authentic and offering assistance when you can. One of the most efficient steps is to find like-minded people through online activity or elsewhere. They may be doing similar work, so you can talk shop, bounce ideas around, and speak comfortably about work. As the CEO of Oracle says, I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you're doing it and whether you could do it better. How about getting a mentor? People who connect with mentors are 5 times more likely to get promoted. That's 5 times. Trusted mentor can provide invaluable career advice, feedback, and support. And here's a final question. Do you work from home? Well, it's far too easy to be cut off, and with fewer people around, you may need to catch up on the importance of relationships for career success. So stay in touch regularly with your links, especially if you're on a project involving team members across one or more locations. And of course, not everyone embraces networking, in which you push yourself to make connections. Do it knowing your efforts will reap rewards. And remember, organizational events such as holidays, parties, team building and learning events or volunteer opportunities all make the case for building a network. You may not enjoy them all, but they can help you consciously build relationships with colleagues. So let's sum up. As you may now realize, there are many ways to trigger interconnectedness and build your network. Even if you are an extreme introvert, it takes commitment and trust in the benefits. Regardless of your current work role, there are boosters or basic strategies, some of which we've talked about today, that can help you create relationships and connections. I've covered the main ones in this podcast, but you may want to listen to it again several times to nail down some of the essentials. And you'll also be able to find a hard copy or an article about this on the website for the podcast at 50ways.site. You've been listening to an episode of Series 3 of my weekly podcast, 50 Ways to Succeed at Work. You can hear the other podcasts at the 50ways.site. That's 50.site. There are nearly 100 titles and you can search for any issue that interests you. If you have any questions, you can always drop me a line from there. Also, check out my book, Happiness at Work. It's packed with great stories, compelling advice, and suggestions for tackling real issues that you can encounter at work. It's at Amazon or at the book's website, myhappinessatwork.com. There's also an audio version if you prefer listening. Join me next week for another unmissable episode in Series 3. Bye for now.